It's loaded and we'll get started. This is July, in the 90s, the high 90s and mid 100s, almost daily heat advisories. But it's a Chinese hoax. It's something this guy would believe in. Welcome to another DSP commentary. Now, these are not my original thoughts. Like, I don't watch his content. I'm just repeating what I saw from uh, other detractors. But I am always stunned at how ridiculous this man gets. Just when you think he can't go any lower, he goes lower. I think now he is complaining about people not giving him enough money. I think he was playing this game Elden Ring and its companion of downloadable content, which is basically an expansion, meaning that you can purchase the original game, and then if you want to, you can buy sort of attachments to it that give you more things to do in the game, more classes, more content, inventory, whatever the case may be. Um, and he's like, "Oh, this is going to save my business. Your business is begging you. Ridiculous. Ah, gosh, Dickens, where's you?" Oh, yes. He only laughs at other people. He never laughs out of joy, just at other people. And you notice the slant under the red dot, his mouth. It's it's not normal. It's slanted, like he got something going on. Um, what else? Yes, he uh bought a $300 joystick instead of taking his cat to the vet. $300 on a joystick. I don't know what to say. I mean, $30 is what I paid for mine. And usually I'm just content playing with the keyboard. That's not the most efficient way to play. Alive. Excuse me. That's not the most efficient way to play a lot of games. But there we are. I prefer it. It's somewhat effective, but against people who are not that skilled. And yes, if you hear this buzzing, it's the phone going off. I'll take care of it after we're done here. Um, this man is just full of reasons, full of excuses, but not full of good things. He's always late to his streams. I don't really have a set schedule to my streams, and they're not always that great, but I post them anyways. Maybe someone will watch them, maybe not. I mean, I know some of my earlier DSP videos have 0 views. So what? I like doing them, and it makes me feel part of this great community of detractors. Let's see, what else did I say? Yes, the $300 joystick. He's blaming it for his lack of poor playing on these fighting games, which I explained that the object of that game is to simply knock your opponent silly before he does the same thing, or she does the same thing to you. And DSP is always finding something or someone else to blame for his lack of skill. And I can't watch him play those games because it's always, it's the lag or he didn't earn it. What do you mean he didn't earn it? He knocked you on the ground. He beat you down. Um, that's earning it. I don't understand that. You didn't actually win. Um, okay, but your opponent is standing and you are on the ground. I don't get that. Sure, absolutely. Oh, my combos dropped. Well, maybe you should take some time and practice that. Oh, no? That's for lesser people. Practice is for lesser people. Oh, okay. Okay, my man. To add context, many of the earlier versions of fighting games didn't have options to go practice. They didn't have stationary dummies for you to hit and strike and all of that. Um, but now they did have sparring, meaning that you could have a computer controlled opponent and fight that way. And that's how I kind of got good at some of the earlier games. I'm not that good at them now. I mean, I luck out with special moves and I beat two players like that by accident. That won't always happen. There are people who will block that, stop my attempts, and knock me out. But that doesn't mean that I shouldn't try. I just have to have some or create time to practice, which is what you do. Practice at these games. It's a skill. And if you enjoy it, more power to you. If you don't, no one is saying you have to play these games. You could do something else. I would really like DSP to do something else with his time. He obviously doesn't like playing games. He's always trying to find something else to do. Sit and run his mouth on nothing. Talk in circles. Have a lot of dead air. And like this. That's the dead air. And call people in his chat dumb and stupid for presenting a different point of view. Okay. I don't know how that's productive or um, a good use of your time, but okay. You do you. I did mention he did have his wife on the streams, and that went poorly. She got off of that in a hurry. Um, there's no chemistry between them at all. I think it's more like distant roommates. And I think that's the best thing I can come up with is constant excuses. The Argentinian subscribers, people from Argentina, are buying memberships and giving out to other people. And the Argentinian exchange rate is very, very low, apparently. So he's making pennies at the very least. And I just can't stop staring at that dude's stroke mouth. Um, and he's blaming them for his failing business. I mean, this guy has made hundreds of thousands of dollars just by begging on the stream. And apparently, all he does with his money is to spend it on uh, these mobile games and buy images essentially off of that have no value beyond the game itself. They went into like hundreds, no, not hundreds of thousands, but like thousands of dollars weekly. And I don't understand that. His hairline is awful. I don't understand how you could spend that kind of money. I mean, I'm not exactly saying I'm a paragon of wise use of money. You know, eBay and I got a good relationship going on. And PayPal and four, I owe outstanding balances on that. Usually from games, but sometimes I'll buy books, some other things. But I always go by the rule that my rent is paid, my bills my bills are paid, and I am fed. After that, um, I try to put aside some money. If I want to get something cool, I can save up for it. I try and space out when the PayPal and 4 happens, or I try and save up for that item that I want. I mean, I sometimes buy cosmetics too on games, but I feel like those kinds of purchases are actually helping the game continually develop. I mean, a lot of games I play, there's always something new coming up. They're always adding new stuff, and that costs money. And I don't have to get these items or these cosmetics, but they look cool, and um, I believe they're helping the developer. Whether it's, yes, you keep telling me I need to uninstall or update, but um, when I do, when I use them, they'll let me know that I need to update. Anyways, now I'm sure there is a setting somewhere on these systems that where I could mute every notification. Not sure how, but I can look it up. This guy does not look up anything that I know of. He expects others to do it for him. Chat. He's weird. He's like, he was upset that people were talking about the kind of steaks they want. And he said, no, don't talk about the steaks. Don't talk about the food. Go somewhere else and do that. You're just supposed to talk to me or about the games. Okay, so we talk to you and you don't like that and you ban them. All right? He really cares only about the money that you give him. And he's got some really weird people on his streams that shouldn't really be on there. An open racist that spews bigoted nonsense. No one wants to hear that. Well, no one in the normal world, but I live in what's considered a red state in the USA. And my particular area that I live in is at the bottom of every ranking possible in the USA, or trying to head directly for it. So, I live in a state to where people are deliberately not educated, and they come up with some whoppers of imaginary stuff, and I can't engage it. I don't, because just some people got to believe that. believe whatever it is. Okay. Um, and this DSP guy is no different. And I'm meandering just like he does. So, he only cares about the money that you give him. And he'll spend hours talking about absolutely nothing. I can't listen to him there. Um, I certainly can't listen to his consistent rage whining while he's playing these games or expecting his chat to tell him how to play these games. He'll literally just sit there and say, well, no one's telling me anything, so I'm just going to sit right here and do nothing until someone tells me something. Um, okay. Okay. And like I said, he mocks his chat, makes fun of his chat. And there was this guy that I don't know, I forgot this guy's name. Eric or Frank, something like that, but he used to play with DSP on Street Fighter 6 chats. And the detractors contacted this guy and said, you know, this is who you're playing with. And they showed him clips of him abusing his chat, having not a pedophile per se, but someone who bothers, um, porn models. And while I don't have an opinion on porn either way. I think it degrades women, but there are people who generally want to get into that, spend money on it. Yeah, okay, I don't agree, but ultimately it's your money, and um, the people you are harming are voluntarily doing that. So I'm not I'm not for that, but I'm not gonna sit here and say it's wrong, it's hideous, it's terrible. Well, it is, but you do you, because I have other things to worry about, like telling y'all that this Derek character that he lets stay on the stream, um, bothers porn models, and sometimes he'll stop girls that are underage, and this Derek guy kept bothering these porn models on these sites to the point to where um, their manager, I'll call them a cyber pimp, had to step in and tell Derek stop it. And I think he almost got into legal trouble over doing that, intentionally harassing um, these porn models on these porn internet sites. How embarrassing is it for you to have a cyber? You are making such a butt of yourself, such a nuisance of yourself, that a cyber pimp has to come up in there, up in your up in your DMs and chats or whatever, and say, "Leave my girls," and maybe guys alone. That's got to be humiliating. But no, this guy knows no shame. This guy here, DSP, knows no shame, and that's essentially what drove away this guy who played. With DSP away. I mean, I find him interesting that he wanted to keep his word to DSP. Yeah, I'll show up and support your streams. Well, excuse me, he did not say that. He said, I'll show up like I said I would and play these matches, Street Fighter 6 for you. But after we're done with that, we are done. And as far as I could tell, he has never gone back to uh, interact with DSP again. And he whined and complained about that. And I have to say is that um, Yes, you have a point. These detractors are ruining your life based on what you do, based on your choices, DSP. And nobody says you gotta abuse your chat. Ain't nobody says you gotta yell and scream and say, eat crap out of my butt. Nobody said you have to do that. But you do anyways. Now, that's on you once again. You are choosing to do these behaviors. You are choosing to whine and complain about, non existent excuses or reasons. You're blaming this gaming joystick that you spent $300 on. That's a hell of a lot of money for a little old joystick. You're not going to tournaments with it. I could understand if you're going to tournaments and, you could earn thousands of dollars of a payout for placing high up. I get that. I would do that too if I were going to tournaments and getting, potentially thousands of dollars out of it. Maybe sometimes, if it's really well funded, tens of thousands of dollars. But you are not doing that. And from my understanding, um, I think you're banned from a lot of these tournaments because when you show up there, your behavior towards the players, I mean, your behavior towards the other contestants and the staff there that are officiating and running the tournament is abhorrent. And ain't nobody got time to put up with a 40 some odd man child screaming and yelling at the staff, screaming and yelling at the contestants who beat you. And how do we know this? Because he's been filmed at these events acting horrifically. Screaming and yelling at contestants, screaming and yelling at the officials at these events. No, nobody's got time for that. So, I think I've covered everything I could. It's just that I am surprised. Well, not really surprised, but I'm going to say shocked that he continually does these behaviors over and over and over. And I really think that there's something wrong with this guy on an emotional and mental level. Something's not right. I mean, he also spends hundreds of dollars on alcohol. And sometimes on streams, he's drunk. He makes no sense. So some people believe that when he talks the way he does, he's drunk off his rear. And this nonsense, I've listened to him make rationalizations, or cope as they call it, on his failures as a human being is ridiculous. He's a narcissist. He blames others for his own behavior and says, because of you, I'm this way. Okay, sure. That's what narcissists do. And the best thing to do is to kind of avoid these people. And in this case, with DSP, he's not the worst lowcal, but he's the least harmful of them. Not that that is saying a hell of a lot. He still scams his audience. He still scams um, people on disabilities. No, he scams people with disabilities, and he only goes out once a week to groceries, so he has no idea how to successfully interact with people. So that's me sometimes. I don't always interact well with others, but I try. I try and think about what I'm going to say. when I'm talking to others. But usually, the largest extent of my own interactions is with cashiers and service people at stores or clerks at the post office. And sometimes I talk to the receptionist at the doctor's office that I go to. But other than that, that's about it. I don't have like a crew to hang out with. I don't have any friends locally. And I'm not complaining. That's just something I create. It's not for lack of trying. It's just something I create. It's not a big deal. I talk with my neighbors, keep myself busy doing these kinds of things. All right. Well, that is the extent of this video. And I do hope that you enjoyed it. Uh, I'm going to say leave a like and subscribe if you choose to, and leave a comment either way. And thank you for watching. I don't know if I'll be doing any actual gameplay later. I'll see how I'm doing. All right, thank you for watching.